welcome back to my channel. I'm Cathy and this is Homespun by Cathy. Today we're going to be talking about wood lanterns, and let me just say that for the next few weeks my videos are going to be a little bit shorter. I'm getting ready for this show and I don't want to continue to run it in the ground. So you've seen me make most of the things that I'm going to be taking to the show. So what I thought I'd do is break it down, maybe just one thing per video, shorten it up, but go into a little more in-depth about how to make it. Not a full tutorial, but a little bit more than we've talked about before. And also in this video, we're going to be talking about the autumn palette, the colors that I'm using for the autumn items that I'm taking to the show. The show isn't until the middle of October, so it might be too late for tons of stuff. So I'm just doing a few signs and a few items, and we're going to see those now and talk about the wood lanterns. So let's hit it. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. Wood lanterns. These are some I've already made. Sometimes I put feet on them, and sometimes I put trim around the bottom. You can make them any size you like. In fact, here's one I made last year around Christmas time, and I put like a 26-inch little Christmas tree in there. I do typically make them around 6 to 8 inches square, but this is 12 inches square, I believe. I used 2x2s for the support. Same instructions, same parts that you need, just different sizes. So here are the parts you need. You need 2 squares the same size, and those will be the top and the bottom. And then you can use 1 or 2 pieces to stack onto the top. It just adds some dimension to your lantern and makes it look a little bit better. And these are the garden stakes that I used for our spindle ladders in a previous video, and I just cut those to length. And for the autumn ones that we're making, I'm using the spindles from a magazine rack. And you need 4 of those. So I'm just getting ready to make one. I've got 4 little pieces of wood and 4 supports. And then you can use a knob or a spindle cutoff like you see in the background there for the little top. I get my knobs from Hobby Lobby when they have them half off. They have such a variety, and I get them for like $1.50. So in a previous video, we made one of these with that bright apple green that I toned down with antiquing wax, and we're going to do a gold and a dark red for the autumn palette. That piece right there is from the drawers that we took apart in the previous nightstand flip video. And see, you just stack however many you want on top of the top, and then you put the little knob or finial on the very top, and that is basically it. Here's the gold color. I had some old gold latex paint, and I did try to make my chalk paint with it, and it just seized up. It was way too old. So I bought this Waverly chalk paint in the color Maize. It was pretty and creamy, and then when it dried, it looked like French's mustard. It was really ugly. But I sanded it back a little bit, and then we're going to put antiquing wax on it to tone it down, and I think it really makes it look prettier for fall anyway. But you can use your jigsaw to cut all of these pieces if that's all you have. I use a miter saw, and that's why a lot of mine stay around 6 inches, because that's as big as I can cut on my miter saw. I do have a table saw, and if I want a bigger one, I can cut the wood on that. But a jigsaw is just fine. I don't know why I'm showing you this. This is just something that I really like to use. I get these berry boxes from the grocery store. And I have a lot of projects going on at one time because I do so many small things. And this just helps me keep the parts for what I'm going to be making together, and I line them up, and so they're ready to go when I'm ready to work on them. And then if I have something in the item that needs painting or like antiquing wax, I go ahead and just put it on the top, and then I can pick the box up and move it out of my way and put something else up there to work on. It just helps me organize my little projects. But these were a bear to sand. But and there's still some little bitty parts that were still shiny. But once you put the antiquing wax on there, it really pulls all the colors together and it just gives it a really nice aged look. Now we're ready to put this thing together. I did it a little bit differently, so it's going to look funny. Normally I just start with the supports, but because I had this little bitty block, I went ahead and started to, and I didn't want a lot of nails showing from the top down. I've got to put nails in the top to get the supports attached anyway. So I just started gluing and letting it set a little bit, and I went back and put a nail in this little small block from the bottom, and then glued it to the next piece and let that set for a few minutes, and then went back and put a nail in that just to kind of get the whole top stacked together. I thought I was going to jump ahead and be smart and put some glue on those supports so they would be ready, but they ended up falling off anyway. So I just needed to wait until I had the whole top together. Once your top is all glued up, the easiest thing to do is to lay two of your supports on the table and put the top and bottom on it on their sides. And I usually clamp it together and then just shoot a couple nails into each one from the bottom. And of course, like I said before, you're going to have to do it from the top. And they show, but you know, it's okay. I also think if you did not have a way to nail, you could just glue these all together and clamp them really good, and it would work just fine. Here's the red one, just to show you. I put it together the exact same way, and here they all are together. And surprise, I did go back and make an orange one. What do you think of this autumn palette? I think they're really cute. You could put little mini pumpkins or gourds in them. I've got a little jar of flowers in one. And as you see, the green one is bigger. So I had a larger piece of wood and I just ran that through my table saw and cut it in half. But again, you could do the same thing with a jigsaw. And I am making these tassel jars just to have some other items in these colors. And then there's the orange. I think the antiquing wax really tones down these bright colors and gives them a nice fall touch. Thank you guys for watching. We will be back in a couple weeks with more autumn items and more upcycles that I'm going to be taking to the show.